We move now to Israel. A decade-long saga climaxed today with the Supreme Court upholding the conviction of Roman Zadorov for the 2006 murder of 8th grader Ta'ir Rada. The 10-year legal battle rocked the Justice Ministry, leading to calls to suspend head state prosecutor Shai Nitzan because of his handling of the case.
One of Israel's longest and controversial legal sagas may finally come to an end Wednesday after the Supreme Court upheld the guilty conviction handed down to Roman Zadorov for the murder of 13-year-old Ta'ir Rada in a lavatory at her school in 2006. However, Zadorov's lawyers say this is not the end of the case, since one of the three judges at Wednesday's hearing dissented.
The question is it possible to send a man to a life in prison when one judge rules there is doubt in the conviction? We will go over the verdict. We are definitely disappointed by the decision. We expected him to be acquitted.
Zadorov was a Ukrainian immigrant employed as a construction worker at the school Rada attended. He was arrested shortly after she was stabbed to death. Although Zadorov initially admitted to the charges and reenacted the murder, he later changed his statement and appealed to the Supreme Court. New evidence surfaced, including forensics taken by a former FBI official claiming that the blood stain found in the scene and first linked to Zadorov turned out not to be a footprint. Another point of contention is that Rada was killed by a knife different to the one the lower court linked to Zadorov. In 2013, the Supreme Court returned the case to the lower court in Nazareth, which convicted Zadorov a second time.
If my husband was acquitted tomorrow, we would have come out to search for the real criminals. Ta'ir Rada is turning in her grave because the real killer is still out there.
The case garnered major media coverage, as many said Zadorov is not the real killer and accused the police and the legal system of rushing to judgment and even forcing or manipulating Zadorov into giving a false statement. Even Ta'ir's mother said she is not sure Zadorov is the real killer and accused the prosecution and the police of abandoning her daughter. On the other hand, the lower court said that Zadorov had made several spontaneous confessions to the murder.
And I'm joined now by Israeli lawyer Kobi Sudri. Kobi, good evening.
Good evening.
Well, Kobi, Zadorov was convicted twice of killing Ta'ir Rada, and yet the case continues to generate controversy. And today, one of the three judges in the Supreme Court chose to dissent. What does this mean for the future of Zadorov's case?
Well, I don't know if there is a future, because in the Israeli judicial system, this is enough in order to convict him and not to have any other hearing. Maybe his lawyer intends to ask for another hearing. I really doubt if the Supreme Court will let him have another chance.
Well, both his family and, of course, Ta'ir Rada's family have again and again contested his conviction. They're saying the real killer is still free. Will this have any impact on the case or his guilt verdict?
It's not, and it shouldn't, because the court decides according to evidence. We should remember that the Israeli system is not like the American one. We have no jury. We have professional judges who check the evidence, and if you read the majority of opinion, and in many ways even the minority opinion, you can find out that there were sufficient evidence in order to convict him, far beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well, let's talk about the relation between evidence and the court. A lot has been said about the courts during this trial since 2006. But speaking of the evidence on the scene, could the police have acted better in any way? Because they've been criticized too. Could the police have helped the court by conducting a better investigation?
Well, maybe, but still, we should remember this was a very complicated investigation, and the police had lots of efforts that were invested in this specific investigation. I think that they acted correctly. There is always room for improvement, but I don't think that they should be criticized too much.
Yes, a case that continues to be a wound for the Rada family, of course, and in Israeli collective memory. Kobi Sudri, thank you very much for talking to us tonight.
Thank you for having me.